Welcome to New Sky TV. It's explosive. Wang Haozhen and Zhai Yiying's mutual attraction is a testament to their chemistry, every frame a testament to their spark. Wang Haozhen and Zhai Yiying always manage to seamlessly connect their emotions, even after the camera cuts away and the dialogue stops. The lingering, restrained warmth continues to ferment in the air. You'll find that their scenes together are never just on point, but rather unstoppable. This tacit understanding is, in a way, like a duet. The lead dancer needs to be steady and precise in rhythm, the follower needs to be agile and quick in reaction. Wang Haozhen's steadiness isn't a stiff, rigid posture, but an extremely reliable emotional anchor. His presence is like a silent anchor, providing the other with a sense of security. Zhai Yiying's agility, on the other hand, is a fluid flow of emotion, her gaze, pauses, and breathing adjusting to the subtle changes in the other. Because of this, her agility never floats, but is instead grounded, and Wang Haozhen's composure becomes warm and layered in her responses. What's most remarkable is that this complementary relationship isn't limited by genre. In sweet romance dramas, their approach is effortlessly charming, one exchanging glances, the other gently receiving them, the ambiguity carefully held in the palm of their hand. In heart-wrenching scenes, they portray restraint and repression to the extreme, a hesitant pause, a feigned indifference, enough to make the audience's hearts tighten. Emotions aren't shouted out, but rather gradually forced forth. Many viewers describe their chemistry as not bursting forth, but slowly seeping out. This perfectly captures the essence. Wang Haozhen's acting excels at leaving room for interpretation. He doesn't rush to give answers, but rather gives space to his partner. Zhai Yiying excels at allowing emotions to grow within these spaces, giving the characters' feelings a genuine sense of breadth. Thus, you'll find that when they're on screen together, even if nothing has happened, it feels like a lot has already occurred. This is precisely why this pairing always manages to draw the audience firmly into the story. It's not about deliberately showering the audience with sweetness, but about the self-consistent emotional logic, not about piling up scenes, but about the natural progression of the characters' relationship. You'll believe the characters were genuinely moved at that moment, and you'll understand why they chose restraint and compromise. Truly high-level on-screen chemistry isn't about superficial sparks, but a mutual emotional connection. Wang Haozhen and Zhai Yiying achieved just that. They showed the audience not only the closeness between their characters, but also a performance where they complemented each other. That's why so many people repeatedly rewatch their scenes, savoring each frame because every frame is evidence of attraction, every glance is a moment of emotional release. A casual turn, a slightly hesitant glance back, even just a subtle proximity and position, these are all handled as foreshadowing of emotions. Before the audience even realizes it, their hearts are already captivated. This feeling isn't being forced into sweetness, it's willingly falling into it. Wang Haozhen's brilliance lies in his ability to always know when to stop. He doesn't try to steal the emotional climax but instead lets the spotlight shine on the other person, allowing the relationship to develop naturally. So what you see isn't the male lead's aura dominating the scene, but the presence of a character willing to yield to emotions. Zhai Yiying, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. She excels at amplifying emotions within a safe, supportive framework, joy without being overly dramatic, excitement without being overtly displayed, sadness without collapsing, yet every moment strikes a chord with the audience's most vulnerable spot. This balance of restraint and release keeps their scenes in a state of almost full, yet not quite. Sweet, but not cloying, painful, but not melodramatic. It's the sense of balance that allows viewers to repeatedly immerse themselves in the story, even unconsciously filling in the gaps in the characters' unspoken words. So you'll find that people discussing them aren't just talking about the plot, but also the emotions. My heart skipped a beat in that scene. I understand that look, they just look right together. When a pairing can make viewers remember them through emotion rather than plot, the chemistry between them is already established. No wonder some say that Wang Haozhen and Zhai Yiying's pairing is like a rare enduring CP in short dramas. They don't become famous overnight, but rather they become more and more captivating and flavorful with each viewing. If mutual attraction is a result, then what they present to the audience is a complete, nuanced, and unpretentious process. And it is this process that makes every frame more than just visuals, it's tangible evidence of heart-fluttering moments. The viral potential is even stronger. What's more interesting is that when you start repeatedly watching their scenes, you suddenly realize a fact. What truly captivates is never how exciting the plot is, but the state of neither of them said it, yet they both understood between them. It was a remarkably mature portrayal of emotion, not through dialogue or forced camera angles, but solely through eye contact, poses, and choices. Wang Haozhen consistently suppressed his emotions to a minimum at crucial moments. His restraint wasn't indifference, but a weighty, understated strength, like standing on the edge of a cliff yet choosing to take a half step back. Yiying, on the other hand, always precisely captured the emotional cracks within those half steps. Her gaze would lag slightly, her breathing would falter for a moment. That slight hesitation was enough for the audience to understand the character's inner turmoil. Thus, you'll find that their relationship didn't progress linearly, but rather through repeated testing and confirmation. Every retreat was a prelude to a more resolute advance, every silence was an emotion quietly growing. This kind of relationship, without arguments or drama, was exceptionally real and exceptionally poignant. This is why many say, Wang Haozhen x Yiying is the kind of couple you get serious about watching. You might have just clicked on it casually, but before you knew it, you were emotionally drawn in. By the time you realized it, you were already feeling sorry for the characters, anxious for them, and even making choices for them. When a pairing can evoke this kind of emotional complicity in the audience, it goes beyond simply being a good cast, it achieves a genuine emotional projection. So, rather than saying the audience is shipping them, it's more accurate to say they're witnessing a serious, two-way journey, not perfunctory, not rushed, not cheap. That's why every frame they share is repeatedly captured, discussed, and savored. Because it's not a chance encounter, but an inevitable build-up. What truly lingers in the memory isn't what they say, but those deliberately left unsaid moments. An unspoken "I understand you," a hesitant approach, all silently confirm the emotion. Wang Haozhen portrays restraint as a gentle undertone, whilst Yiying, on this undertone, allows the initial spark to slowly emerge. Their relationship wasn't a grand, dramatic declaration of love, but rather a gradual, step-by-step choice. Every pause was an emotional wane, every glance back was a confirmation of their feelings. The audience is drawn into this rhythm, their heartbeats unconsciously resonating with the characters. So when their mutual commitment finally arrives, it doesn't feel abrupt, it feels like it was destined all along. And that's why every second they share is worth watching repeatedly. Because it wasn't a chance encounter, but an answer paved with patience and sincerity. It is precisely in this rhythm of repeated approach and restraint that their relationship gradually gains weight. It's not an impulsive love at first sight, but a steadfast commitment built upon repeated confirmations. Wang Haozhen's character always stands in the position of "I can wait a little longer," relinquishing the choice, suppressing his emotions, making his love appear restrained and reliable. Yiying's character, on the other hand, slowly takes root in this waiting. Her attraction isn't ignited, but rather arises naturally after being understood and respected. This emotional logic is inherently persuasive. It doesn't cater to fast-paced thrills, yet it unexpectedly captivates. Viewers will read hesitation in their gazes, feel reluctance in their silences, and experience a belated yet incredibly reassuring sweetness at the moment they finally draw closer. Therefore, their story, seemingly calm, is turbulent beneath the surface, seemingly slow to warm up, yet incredibly powerful in its aftertaste. Only when you realize you've completely immersed yourself in it do you discover you've already been emotionally drawn far ahead. Perhaps it is precisely this patience and sincerity that makes their mutual journey all the more precious. It's not because the ending is particularly sweet, but because the process is incredibly realistic. When such a relationship is presented in its entirety, what viewers remember is not just the characters, but a long-lost feeling of being moved, gentle, restrained, yet enough to linger in their memories. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.